In 2019, 35% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa lived in extreme poverty, defined as living below $2.15 a day. This translates into 433 million people who were still living in extreme poverty in 2019. This figure represents about 60% of the total number of people living in extreme poverty worldwide, and is almost 100 million more people compared to 1994, when 348 million people lived in extreme poverty in sub-Saharan Africa. There is urgency to make a change. In about 3 decades, it will be a century since independence swept through the African continent, and several countries are poorer today than they were 2 or 3 decades ago. Unless we Africans, and I mean all of us, act with a sense of urgency, things can and will get worse. Yes, we have a legitimate reason to blame external events or entities, but that is not going to bring us any solution. We, by extension our race, have been vilified and looked down upon for centuries. We have been told we are less intelligent. We have been told we do not have a history or a civilization. We have been told our culture is backward. Our ancestors were enslaved and treated worse than animals. Even if many of these practices took place a long time ago, there are still ghosts in our daily lives and continue to impact us one way or another. Epigenetics shows us that trauma can alter our DNA and that parents can pass their trauma down to their kids. So anxiety and low self-esteem due to racism centuries ago among our ancestors can manifest in our genes today. The trauma of poverty, which is still rampant in our society, can be passed down to future generations, holding them back even if they happen to have escaped the traps of poverty. Mental health is not a topic that we openly talk about in our societies for various reasons. But our generations must make an effort to think about it, talk about it, and take steps to enhance mental health in our communities. Because poor mental health can lead to self-doubt, lack of confidence, low self-esteem, and worse, depression. In turn, self-doubt, lack of confidence, and low self-esteem will hold us back from achieving our fullest potential. I'm sorry to say, but we are the laughingstock of the rest of the world. Thousands of our sisters and brothers risk their lives every year to cross the Mediterranean to reach Europe, and many die before reaching the shores of Europe. It is up to us to make a change. For example, Congo can become a manufacturing powerhouse by 2040 if the leaders put their head to it, set out a clear goal, and work relentlessly and diligently to make the plan a reality. Nigeria can rival any European or Asian country if all their leaders got on the same page to lift the country instead of just wanting to enrich themselves. The leaders of Botswana have long shown us what is possible when leaders care about the well-being of their people and enact serious reforms. Rwanda is showing us right now what is possible with good leadership on concerted effort. Our generation must be different. Our generation must do better. To do that, we need a renaissance. We need to know our paths in and out. We need to invest in ourselves to have high self-esteem and self-worth, an unbreakable confidence, and an unwavering work ethic. Confident, self-assured, secured, well-read people are more likely to make better decisions. This might sound like a very trivial call to action, but it is the foundation. We need an African Renaissance to re-educate our generation and educate future generations differently. We need an African Renaissance to lift our people out of misery. The African Renaissance we have in mind is the belief that only us Africans, the rising generations, can lift Africa and make it reach its full potential. It is marrying that belief with action, both personally in terms of personal development, physical, mental, and spiritual, and in terms of community and social involvement. It is a commitment to do what is right, to prepare ourselves for duty in case we are called upon to serve our nations. The African Renaissance we have in mind is a movement to educate ourselves and to build high self-esteem with an unwavering work ethic. We are not championing a philosophical and political concept alone, but instead we are proposing to marry the philosophical and political concept with personal agency rooted in personal growth and social involvement. It is our individual contribution that adds up to the aggregate outcome in the society. That being said, welcome to Africa Unchained, a new channel dedicated to educating the African youth, the future leaders of the continent. A channel designed to inspire and motivate the generation dubbed the Cheetah Generation by Ghanaian economist George Ayite. A channel whose overall and long-term objective is to sow the seeds of an African renaissance. So like, subscribe, and join the revolution.